Welcome to the Big Talk from Mainland 98.3 FM for the 13th November 2024. It's been quite an interesting run and our series as we look at, women in leadership, advocacy for women. It's been quite an interesting run on the Big Talk. Last week was amazing. We had Princess Islamiat, who was the deputy governorship candidate for the Labour Party in the Lagos State 2023 general elections. And she had quite a lot to say as regards, the definition, the modern definition of feminism, what feminism really is, and of course, women advocacy. Today, we're going to be focusing on women in politics. And of course, who better to give insights as regards what women go through or have to go through or are going through in politics as women leaders. And that's why we have with us in the studio this morning a vice chairman of a very, very big local government in Lagos State, albeit even in Nigeria as well, who'd, share insights as regards that. It promises to be an interesting run. All you have to do is stay tuned, relax, and, let's all learn. Let's pick one or two things as regards, what exactly is going on in the political landscape. The truth is, women in politics face numerous challenges, particularly in countries like Nigeria, where patriarchy dominates the social, the economic, or even the political landscape. And despite making up a significant portion of the population, women's participation in politics, has been hindered by several factors: lack of resources, discrimination, conflicting roles. You have to, measure up as a wife, you have to measure up as a mother, and you also have to measure up as a leader, in society. It's a big deal. And, I mentioned last week to Princess that, we have political parties where, they have tried to make things easier. They have tried to be as, female inclusive as possible. They've made forms free for some women. They cut off 50%, as regards, women picking up forms so that it can be easier, for women. But then there are still challenges, there are still limitations, and there are still hurdles that needs to go through as a woman in politics, especially in Nigeria. So you're welcome to the Big Talk. My name is Omobola Sandra. Always is, always will be. We'll take a very short break. When we come back, we go full throttle with our beautiful guest in the studio this morning. Stay tuned. Gender equality is a human rights issue. It is about ensuring that everyone, regardless of their gender, has the same opportunities, rights, and protections. Challenging stereotypes, breaking down barriers, and creating a more inclusive society where everyone is treated with respect and dignity is a collective responsibility. Gender disparities start out small, in homes and communities, and these harmful gender norms progress and are perpetuated at the highest levels. In some countries, they become entrenched in laws and policies that violate the rights of individuals because of their gender. Discriminatory teaching practices and education materials also produce gender gaps in learning and skills development. Let us stand up for gender equality, support each other, and strive for a world where everyone can thrive and reach their full potential.
Attention everyone, this is an important message about cholera.
Cholera is a serious disease, but we can stop it together.
Remember to always drink clean, safe water. Boil or treat your water before drinking.
Wash your hands with soap and clean water, especially before eating and after using the toilet.
Cook your food thoroughly and eat it while it is hot.
Keep your surroundings clean and dispose of waste properly.
If you or anyone you know shows symptoms like severe diarrhea or vomiting, seek medical help immediately.
Together, we can beat cholera and keep our community healthy.
This message is brought to you by Mainland 98.3 FM, Lagos. Stay safe, stay healthy. This is the Big Talk with Omobola Sandra.
Thank you for staying with us. It's 6 minutes past 10 and you're on to the Big Talk on mainland 98.3 FM. Today we are discussing women in politics. All right. Yesterday there was the swearing in of the Edo State governor, and in different parts of the country as well. There's been local government elections have been held in about 15 or so states in different parts of the country. There's been rarely any, sighting of a female local government chairwoman or chairman or chairperson that we have heard of in any of these elections that has been held. And even in 2023 general elections, there was supposed to be an emergence of a female governor, but that of course electoral processes and all of that dream was gone and lost. I think the highest that we have gone as a gender would be deputy governor. I think that's all they think that maybe we can aspire to be. But of course, we have female senators, we have female House of Reps members. But of course, as regards, the executive, that is, what we would, want to see someone somewhere, making a mark. Just sometime last week as well, America was also supposed to have ushered in a new era where they would have had their first female president in America, the most powerful country in the world. But of course, that also happened. It did not happen. And Donald Trump, we saw a comeback of Donald Trump. So, women engagement in politics, leadership, women in leadership has always been a conversation that has been on the front burner, especially with what happened, with Kamala Harris during the campaigns. The Trump campaign people, they were always hitting back at the fact that, she's a woman, she's married, she should pay attention to her family, she should pay attention to her husband, and why she got married late, why she doesn't have kids. There's just a lot that, a lot of challenges and hurdles. So, and that's why we need to have this conversation, especially from the horse's mouth, as they would say. So we have in the studio with us Honorable Princess Folashade Olabanji Oba, who is the Executive Vice Chairman, Ikorodu Local Government Area, Lagos State, and also doubles as the National Chairman of the Association of Local Governments Vice Chairman. I think I got, yes. Yes, Association of the Vice Chairman in Nigeria. And that is an amazing role. All the 774 local governments in Nigeria, the Vice Chairman, she is the National Chairman. So she has been able to make a mark with over 2 decades in politics, making impact, trying to push the agenda of, trying to make a change, and also advocating for women in leadership and politics. You're welcome into the studio, Princess Folashade. Good morning.
Good morning, ma. How are you?
I'm well, thank you very much.
It's a beautiful day here. That's one thing I want to encourage each and every one of us. Women passionate about the people, purposeful, making a difference and all that, really meaning well for this great country of ours. Don't give up. And we need more. We all need to get in the space, participate, and just, be the best, be all that we can be. I think that's really the message.
Thank you very much. Now, of course, I'll start with the most basic of all, which everybody will probably be wondering. I'm sure you've heard her voice, you've heard her articulation and her eloquence as well. And one would wonder why, an urban woman like yourself, successful from the diaspora, because this is a place where a lot of people are now trying to jackpot too. But you left your comfort zone over there. What informed your decision to come to Nigeria, come home to Nigeria, and get yourself involved in grassroots politics?
Well, for me, it's all about giving back. I happen to have been raised by wonderful parents, especially my mom, who didn't have a normal education or formal education, as you would say it, but labored to give me my voice. And in love, I always tell people, you can't outdo me for love. In giving back, at some point, it was like I had to be there for her, those passing, last years. And coming back home, I thought, how best to show that love than really giving back to the people who nurtured me, okay? Because anytime I think about my younger years and all that, growing up in Nigeria, it's always with a big smile, really, on my face. And the terrain was changing so fast, and like some of us cannot look away. We must also think about future generation. One thing we do owe to Mother Earth is living it better than we met it. And that's why I'm here.
So what was a major culture shock for you coming back to
Nigeria?
Nigeria?
A big one. What was and the truth was, it wasn't just me. I relocated with my whole family.
Oh, wow.
And I just woke up one day. I used to shuttle, because I was my mom's best friend, and I would. But one day I just, after one of those trips, I'm like, my heart is in Nigeria. When the plane wants to land in Lagos, I'm like 16-year-old who's got all the sweet treats and all that, and very excited and full of joy. And so the challenges are there, living in Nigeria and all, but honestly, the love of the people keeps me going day to day. No 2 days are the same, but I know definitely that great impact in this great country. I'm addicted to Nigeria. It's tough to explain, but it is the truth. I lived abroad, almost 3 decades, and coming back home, you talk about culture shock, but seeing my brothers and sisters, especially back then, driving around the streets of Lagos. I was born in Lagos Island, okay, streets of Lagos, and down to my home base, Ikorodu and all. I see good-looking, dynamic young guys, and thinking what is there for them, the future, okay? If we don't make it a more enabled, flourishing ground, then you would have everybody wanting to japa, okay? So it's not about japa for me, it's japada. We need to, you will always think that the grass is greener on the other side, but somebody there is watering that grass. And so, what are your grass? Be all that you can be wherever you are, and soon enough you'll find that you remain the envy of the people around you. So,
thank you very much. So, as soon as you touched ground in Nigeria, was that when you decided for me to be able to make an impact? Because some people will say you don't need to be in politics to make an impact, but for me to make a bigger impact, I need to join politics? Or what, did you take some time?
It wasn't even just, when you say politics, you scare yourself. I just had to be like volunteer, be available. And I would even tell my children, take a pen and paper, okay? This is your home. What differences do you see? How can you make it better? And I know as little boys and girls that back then they'll be like, Mom, the lizard, the cockroach, they go after everything. But the beautiful thing for them too was like, now this belongs to us, and how do we make it better? And in reading some of their journals, reading mine, I'm like, so it's not just saying things, it's about doing it, okay? And doing it is participate by being in that community and joining some of the local community associations and all that, and seeing where I could come in and be of support or be of help. And that's how I found myself here.
Wow. And what was the reception like for someone who's coming from
it wasn't fun. And sometimes I think back in the days when I just got back, my English was not really the one you would easily understood, and they would look at me and some of them be like, this one is not one of us, she's not going back and all that. But I've proved them wrong, and I'm like, I'm definitely one of you. I'm here for love. You would understand me. And I just say I thank God. I'm forever thankful for the people that's trusted me, my leaders, my mentors. I'm really blessed to have the kind of support system that I've had. It wasn't easy. There were the frustrations and all that, and being a girl child, just like you said, and some of them believing that you didn't have space where you were. But like I said, I would still go back to my mom, because she would hide me in her room as a little girl when my father wanted a boy, and she would tell me, you can be everything, don't mind your father, you know, all the men, what they can do, you can also do more, you can, you know. So the confidence and reaffirmations I got from her encouraged me as I went on in life. And I'm still very much a work in progress. Okay, that's one thing we must all know. You must, the you of today must be better than you of yesterday, and the you of tomorrow definitely better than the you of today. So we must keep working at it and making sure, because at the end of the day, it's not just you being a woman that's going to get you the leadership. It is in the value adding and what you're bringing to the table. So.
Oh, well, okay. So, whilst you were trying to gain grounds, you know, when you just got back to the country, who were there people who were able to hold your hand, and also were there any women that, you know, held your hand and said, oh, come on board, this is how we do it, this is how we do it, you know, who put you through the ropes? Or did you have to navigate, you know, the murky waters of Nigerian politics yourself?
I did murky waters, and my parents were older then, so it wasn't like I had somebody holding my hands and taking me everywhere. And there have been times I even had to cover myself up, like hide my normal self, just walk and do the normal things. And people, when they find out, oh, maybe I'm somebody's child or whatever, they be like, huh? What are you doing here? Okay, but I just had to let them understand that I am here for good. So it was a bit tough. The murky waters, yes. I think that would be an understatement, because I know at some point I would cry myself a little.
Wow.
But even then, I was always quick to have my pancakes back on. Don't be deceived by my because I now had to tell myself I'm on stage. Okay, if you weaken or try to show any sign of weakness, the people coming after you, because even as a leader, no matter how, we're all leaders in some forms, you have people looking up to you, and if you dim the light a little, it affects them as well. So it is beyond personal interest now for me. It's not all about me, it's about the bigger picture, which is also, we're all here for us all.
So what was your major support system, you know, when during those dark periods? Let me put it that way.
Well, it's always good to have a second address. To being laid on politicians that you always had to be crude, you always had to do something not for you to be so proud of. But if you're able to remain grounded, confident, and have some sort of income to keep you going for those days, then it's a little bit easier, you know, to navigate. As a woman, obviously, number one thing, if you were married or you had a partner, you have to get their commitment as well, to be supportive, because you're not going to be as much as you want to be in the home front, like, you know. So if you didn't have a support spouse, supportive spouse, that could really be a challenge. And even the children as well, carry them along. I mean, right now, most times I'm on the road, I still, from every part of the world, wherever they still would call me and even let me know what's going on in Nigeria, even more than me, you know, like, I'm like, what's going on here? You're monitoring all this monitoring spirit. But it's just the excitement, like, they're concerned. You must be concerned about your home. You must be, you know, you take away your face from your community, or just because you say it doesn't bother you, you soon find out that it really does bother you. At some point, it will get back to you. So I want us to all develop this attitude about Nigeria, nurturing Nigeria, appreciating Nigeria, loving Nigeria. Their words are prophetic. You don't condemn something and expect it to bless you.
Well, it's 21 minutes past 10, and you're listening to The Big Talk on Mainland 98.3 FM. We are today discussing women in politics. That's the big talk for today. And who better to, you know, have a conversation around that than a woman in politics? And we're talking about Princess Folashade Olabanji-Oba, who is the current vice chairman of Ikorodu local government and also the national chairman of the Association of Local Government Vice Chairmen in Nigeria. Now, From previous interview, I got that you started dabbling into politics from as far back as 2003, although you relocated fully sometime 2005.
Yeah.
So that means, they're about over a decade, over 2 decades rather, 21 years in politics. What has been the major challenge as a woman in politics?
Well, always wanting to do more and feeling that I'm not yet able to do as much as I could. Sometimes that could be challenging, because if you think like, okay, for me, people will look, why local government? Okay, you could go for appointments and be in the air-conditioned rooms and all that. It's tough, but that is really, I'm a street person. I like to be among the people all the time. The more faces I'm able to put smiles on, the better it is for me. And so you will know that our system, I'm blessed that I'm from Lagos State, because I always say Lagos leads, other states follows. Because when I talk about Lagos State and compared to so many other states that I've been to in the country, then you would really celebrate Lagos State. But all in all, we're not yet there. Okay, the social system, and I'm talking, so many people still needing help. Okay, but I think also our orientation having to change from just sitting and waiting for whatever the government is going to throw out at us. Also us saying, this is us, how can we also be supportive of the government? How could we make a difference? And now the narratives about vocational training and all that, the certificates, everybody going around with degrees and saying they don't have a job. How about learning a skill and being an employer of labor, So the narratives changing is something that I've also been going around on the advocacy for the girl child. Okay, I do a lot of that girl child advocacy, not just gender balance, some things that affect us. One that I'm working on seriously now is the gender mutilation, female gender mutilation. And, we underestimate some of these things, the impact it has on the society, but they're also life-threatening. They're also, so the more of those problems you're able to be a solution provider for, the better you feel. It's a Dr. Feel good thing about yourself. Like, okay, I'm doing something worthwhile. Okay. As in like the dollars and cents or naira and kobo and all that, it's a bit challenging, okay, because even no matter what you have, you always realize that it's never enough to go around. It's so much to be done. I mean, we're a country with millions of people now, and I tell people, I beg you, please make sure we all do what we can do to save our country. I'm not sure any country all over the world is ready to take 200 refugees, 200 million refugees. It just won't happen. So we must be intentional and making sure Nigeria remains one of the greatest nations in the world.
I'll take you back a bit now.
Okay.
A lot of people would argue that, patriarchy has made it difficult for women to thrive in politics. The fact that you have more men, they have been there longer than women, and so they understand the terrain better. So, and they believe that, women should be behind them. There are some men who believe that, well, why should, I answer to a woman? Why should my chairman be a woman? Why should my governor be a woman? Why should the president be a woman? For women in politics, don't you think it's a challenge? Don't you think it makes it difficult for some women to thrive? Okay, because I'm still going to come to the question as regards the fact that you have been vice chairman for God knows how long.
8 years. No, but I'm going to be chairman next, definitely.
So, that's what a lot of us, who are ladies, young ladies or women would aspire for you. That's the ambition that we're looking at for you. But then you also have the fact that this is Nigerian politics, and there's a major part that the men play as regards the fact that Baolude, or who is this person out and all of that. So don't you think that's a challenge?
It was a challenge. Okay, I'm using that words because right now we're moving beyond that. I just talked about growing up as a young girl, being the first child, and I had my brothers who would wake me up in the morning, and I had my homework and all, and they'd still be like, go fix me breakfast, fix me lunch, and I'm like, but I would do that and still be able to keep my grades. And that's the beauty of a woman. You are multitasking. God has embedded us with so much more that we can tackle more. And inclusivity now, it must be intentional. Allowing more of us. Politics is a numbers game. Allowing more of us in the space would definitely, you can't give what you don't have. If we don't have more women in that space, there's no how they're going to emerge. So from secondary school, university and all that, you start letting the women know that yes, leadership is not just because you're a boy or a girl, but it is because of who you are and being the best at all that you can do. So the cultural baggage that we had, okay, was there, but it's still there. But I know it's easy enough now, okay. You talked about Lagos State, we have about 9 female chairmen. Okay.
LCD is different from
no main local government.
Main local government.
Yeah. And please, this is Lagos. LCDA, LG, whatever.
We have a certain Supreme Court ruling.
Well. Honestly, politics. Every politics is local, and the advantages for us in opening up more rural areas with the setting up of what you call the SCDAs and all, it has made Lagos what it is today. And so we're moving forward. And moving forward is saying so many states emulate what our he for she governor is doing. I mean, I celebrate my governor. I celebrate the president who started it. Okay. Saying that even his wife went on to be 3 times Senate. Okay. And all that. If every man in Nigeria was to believe in their wives and allow them to flourish and be at the highest level of their potential, okay, I think they're worthy of being celebrated. And that is what has been shown in His Excellency, for example, Ahmed Tinubu. So, looking around, you've got role models who you can say they're worthy of being celebrated. So this patriarchy thing that you're talking about, yes, cultural, but some people have gone out of the way to actually show that it can be better. And if you any society that is holding back more than half of their population in participating or adding to the system, they're changing themselves. So it's the country or that community that loses, not even those individuals. So if you allow more women in the space, for me, I don't care if the men get the credit. Okay. I am somebody that, yes, I celebrate my being a woman, but I am not in competition. Yeah, I am not with anybody. I just know that I would put myself in a space to where you will find it difficult for you to do without me if I'm around you.
That's value.
Yeah, that's value. and that's what we must really be intentional about wherever we
focus
on
providing value, that you become very, very, very important. You can't be book and YouTube at Mila 98.3 FM. I have a message here with a woman. Well, please let the messages keep coming in, let it keep pouring in. If you have, who would have known that the national chairman of the Association of Local Government Vice Chairman in Nigeria is a woman, and she's doing amazing things. And I'm sure that out of the 700 174 local government, even if it's at least maybe 600 or they're about to be men. So it will not be easy.
You're going there.
All right. But, still more to come. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We'll just take a short commercial break. You're listening to The Big Talk on Mainland 98.3 FM.
Get ready for the hottest show in town. Tune in to Mainland 98.3 FM for the ultimate talk experience. It is time for the Big Talk. Join Omobola Sandra every Wednesday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. as we dive into the forefront of the most sizzling topics, from glitz and glamour of entertainment to the nitty-gritty of politics to the latest trend in fashion and lifestyle. The Big Talk covers it all. The Big Talk, hosted by the dynamic presenter Omobola Sandra. The Big Talk guarantees to keep you entertained, informed, and hooked. Get ready for engaging conversations and a whole lot of fun. Don't miss out on the pulse of the city on Mainland 98.3 FM. The Big Talk, where every topic is a big deal.
Here is easy. To bring normalcy and redecorate is more difficult.
General elections in 2023 have created conversations and consequences that will live with us for years to come. From the executive to the judiciary, legislature, media, and the people, organized labor, and civil society organizations, issues that will continue to shape the future of our country needs continuous probing and interrogation.
I see the greater objective for the party, and let me tell you, I've told the PDP in some locations that, gentlemen, be careful. Better men have founded parties that have gone into oblivion. Where's the party of Awolowo? Where's the party of Azikwe? Where's PRP of Rimi? Political parties must be nurtured, they must be reinvented, they must be true.
Join ᴏᴜᴜᴜ Akínyòdé and Said Fuad on Midweek Politics every Wednesday, 1 to 3 p.m. on Mainland 98.3 FM for thought-provoking conversations, voices from the top, engaging interviews, in-depth analysis on all matters around politics, policies, and governance. Midweek Politics on Mainland 98.3 FM, bringing the right perspectives to everything politics. You are listening to the Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM.
Good morning. Get started.
The Big Talk, where every topic is a big deal.
Has any woman in politics impacted your society in one way or the other? It's time for you to call in and share your thoughts, share your experience, share your own opinion as regards women in politics. Do you think that Nigeria is ready for women to be at the center of leadership in order for us to have the expected change or the desired turnaround that we want for our great country? You're listening to The Big Talk on Mainland 98.3 FM, and today on The Big Talk is Women in Politics. And I have with me in the studio Princess Fola Banjioba, the the current vice chairman of Ikorodu local government here in Lagos State, and also the national chairman of the Association of Local Government Vice Chairman in Nigeria. So it's been quite an interesting conversation as regards, navigating, Nigerian politics as a woman. It's been quite an interesting one. Thank you for being with us once again.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, let's go to the home front. Multitasking, managing, family, managing the children, if you have personal business as well, and also, managing politics. How has it been for you?
Tough.
Of course.
But always on my bended knees. Maybe my partner when I'm not able to be there, my husband. And my children, we always have a round table dialogue, like, Mama, maybe
This is a
parent
demonstration of
association
Wirecast.
and all that in the schools, and I'm not able to be there, or some games or whatever, and I'm having somebody representing me. But I always try to do a make-up thing, like the little time whenever we're together must be quality time, and I do let them know that the whole essence why I'm doing it is because of all of us. Okay, yes, they need their mama, but I'm also telling them that
This
nobody
is
is
a
an island.
demonstration of
The world is so
Wirecast.
interdependent on one another, and so going outside the home to make the environment better, to make your local government, your state better, and representing, is also part of what some of us are called to do. And like I said, it wasn't fun. It's still not fun sometimes, finding myself, because everybody will be like, I'm everywhere, ubiquitous, But to do what I do, you have to
This
be.
is a demonstration of Wirecast.
So I'd still say a big thank you for them tolerating me, let me use that word, and allowing me to do what I do. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. What about as you now have it, you said that it's tough as a woman in politics, managing the home front, family members, extended family, and all of that. So, what would you say to women who are aspiring to go into politics? You've been there over 20 years, so you've seen it all, you've done it all. So you think, okay, for you to avoid some of the challenges that I had to go through, these are the things that you need to do. These are the strategies. So what strategies would you prefer to a woman who wants to also make an impact and be involved in politics?
Well, number one thing I talked about, consent. Okay, your family, whatever you want to do, you must have their support. Okay, and if not first day, second day, you make sure you work on it to where they're able to accept you, they're able to support you. And then in the community where you are as well, nurture relationships that can also be supportive, okay? Because access is very important. The people that you have access to that are able to put in one or two words, you can't be everywhere all the time. So you also need those people who believe in you, who maybe they've met you. It might even just be 5 minutes. It might even just be, but they're able to go out of their way to be that mouthpiece where you're not. So, and then finance has been a major thing that is very limiting for the women. But one thing you must choose is the party that you're going to be with, and in that family of your party and all, you must choose a party that it's a bit sensitive to the needs. Okay, like as a woman, my party, you talked about making forms sometimes free, sometimes 50% off, but there's more to it than just making that. There's some times that some areas are just going to be like, in this area we want a woman, we want some percentage. Okay, we must leave that for the women. Okay, so and I talk about Lagos State because yes, the local government, we have few, but also you talk about the cabinets, the appointments and all, the governor going out of his way to make sure that a lot of those appointments are given also to women, so to kind of have a balancing thing. So but having a second address, obviously when you're in public service, you can have another job that you're doing, whatever, but it's good that you have your orientation, you have another support system somewhere to where at least you can get by day to day.
You mentioned something earlier on that you're not in competition with anyone, and I just want to ask this question because a lot of people believe that with the patriarchal